cell phones, and we'll start off by Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The emergency exits in the building are located at the back of the building and here to my right. If there's an emergency, please use the stairways and not the elevators. If you need assistance on the stairway, just ask one of the commissioners, please. We'll start off the meeting with an introduction of commission members. We'll start to my right.
Christopher Morlock, alternate.
Jay Hildreth.
Rick Metz.
Bob Spoerl.
Eileen Chabot.
Pam Piero, alternate.
Cheryl Holbert.
Thank you.
Oops. Elizabeth Carver, land manager.
And I'm the chair, Riccardo Buzzanga. Chris, I'm going to ask you to sit for Val Connolly. She's absent tonight.
Yes.
And the first order of business we have is the approval of minutes from our November 17th meeting. If someone could make a motion to that effect.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
So we have a first by Mr. Metz, second by Cheryl. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Abstentions? Motion carries. Now, while we're on that subject, just a reminder to the commissioners and the people at home that in January, we will not be having two meetings. We'll be having one, and that meeting will be on January 17th. January 17th. And Tammy, could you notify Sheila that that's going to be our meeting for January? Thank you. All right, Commissioners, our first order of business tonight is a site plan review for 57.5 Frost Road. And who's presenting?
Good evening, Steve Height with Civil Works.
Jace Gregoire with Civil Works.
Great.
We also have Luke Hurley, Environmental, with us as well, and then Josh Lanzetter as well, applicant's attorney.
All right, just hold 1 second. So Vice Chair Metz just brought to my attention that our meeting in January is not the 17th, it is the 19th, January 19th. 17th would be Saturday. We don't meet on Saturdays. So Monday, January 19th, Tammy. Thank you. Let the record reflect that. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. All right, so you have some plans for the commission?
Yeah, so Jace is handing out the called conditional use permit plan, which shows the proposed wetland impact and the wetland buffer impact.
Go that
Here
way.
on this sheet as well, up here.
You don't have one big one by any chance, other than the one, just that one? Okay, that's fine. I'll stay with Rick. How many more do you have for that?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. I did notify Sheila that our next meeting would be January 12th, which is the Monday. That's what we had said at the previous meeting, was January 12th. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm going to be gone either way.
Okay.
I checked my notes. I was like,
Let's back that all up then. All right, thanks very much.
That's what we like.
All right, so we'll back that up. So January 12th is the second Monday of the month, I believe? Second Monday?
Yes.
All right, Tammy, third time's a charm. So our meeting in January was going to be on Monday, January 12th, and that'll be the only meeting for the month, January 12th. Let the record please reflect that. All right, gentlemen, give us a run through it for us, and then we might have some questions for you.
Good evening. My name is Jace Gregoire with Civil Works New England, here representing the owner and applicant for the proposed project located at 57.5 Frost Road, tax map 2, parcel 149. The parcel is approximately 33.82 acres. Sorry. It currently has an existing house with a gravel drive that is shared with the abutting parcel to the south. On that gravel drive is an existing wetland crossing with a culvert. And then the proposed conditions is to subdivide the property with 7 lots, including the existing house, along with roadway infrastructure, utility, on-site septic, and water. As shown here, we'd be utilizing the existing gravel drive that currently exists through the existing house, constructing a roundabout, which is approximately 1,400 feet in length. At the bottom of the hill, where you see the green is the wetland impact, which is approximately 2,500 square feet, with the associated wetland buffer impact in blue. In that location, essentially, is a roadside ditch, and there's an existing culvert at the under the gravel drive, which currently kind of ponds, creating that wetlands, in a rainfall event. Then it discharges into the existing pond, which is on the left-hand side of that drive, and eventually down through into the prime wetlands. And additional wetland buffer impacts are up around the cul-de-sac in blue, both for the side sloping of the cul-de-sac and for the construction of the bioretention basin up on the top of the page. So the side slopes of the road, we were trying to limit to 3-to-1 and 2-to-1, and we'll be asking for a waiver for that to help better with grades in and through the site and to limit wetland buffer impacts and so forth. I know this project has been before the Conservation Commission a few years prior. I believe it was a different, it was a 9-lot, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
It was a 9-lot and has been reduced to 7. There is another entrance to the parcel, a 50-foot strip to the south. I know that was discussed a few years ago, and I believe the Conservation Commission was on site, and they took a site walk, and it was ultimately determined that that location wasn't feasible, one, due to the close proximity of the prime wetland and other additional wetlands in and through that area, and also the slope, which is pretty steep in comparison to the other location.
That other access is south of the cul-de-sac, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yep.
If I remember right, that would have been a bigger impact if we used that one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a quick question before you continue. On the current impact, the current we won't call it an impact, the current crossing of the gravel driveway over that with the culvert. Now, is that like an ad hoc situation, or is that something that was permitted at some point?
That, I don't know. It's been there for a long, long time. There's an existing gravel drive here that services this house here, and that's been there for a long time. You'll see out there right now the gravel drive that's for this house here, that was graveled up this year in the same location as the driveway that exists today. This impact here would be to widen out the road for a city standard road.
So but there's something under that gravel driveway now, some sort of pipe or something?
Yeah, there's an existing culvert.
What is it? You know what it is?
It's a 12-inch.
12-inch plastic?
12-inch?
I think it's metal.
Yeah, I think it's a metal RCP. CMP.
It's a 15-inch CMP.
Is it functioning, or is it clogged, or is it water flowing through it?
I don't believe it's clogged, but it is in a deep depression, almost like a hole.
Gotcha.
So it is prone to clogging. But at the moment, I don't believe it is.
Okay. All right, you can continue. Thank you.
Along with that wetland crossing, so as was brought up, is 15-inch CMP existing. The proposed is for an 18-inch, and to add head walls to help with erosion coming down from the roadside ditch and in through that area. So we're here tonight for a conditional use permit for impacts associated with a wetland buffer of approximately 8,572 square feet and 4 different locations, and a wetland impact of 2,500 and I believe 83 square feet, 35 square feet, sorry.
And give me the dimensions on that pipe again, please. What are you proposing?
The proposed pipe is a 15-inch, 52-foot long, HDPE.
15-inch, 52-foot long, you're saying, right?
Sorry, 18-inch, sorry.
18-inch, okay.
Yes.
And you want to give us some detail on those other two impacts up at the top there?
So there is 3 impacts up at the top, A, B, and C. Wetland buffer impact A is up near the very top of the page, and that is associated with the construction of a bioretention basin, or the side slopes of the bioretention basin, and will be like erosion control matting after construction will be implemented in that area to help prevent erosion from and stabilizing the slope, along with a double row of silt sock during construction to help with unwanted silt or discharge into the wetlands itself. The other impact, B and C, are for the construction of the outlet pipe from the bioretention basin in the middle of the cul-de-sac, which will daylight to a riprap apron. And those are temporary in nature, as in they'll be dug up, pipe will be installed, and then it'll be quickly seeded and matted, and then erosion control will be installed around it during construction.
Are any of those impacts up top there, are those impacts on a prime wetland?
Those are not to the prime wetland, no. Those are localized wetland or wetland fingers that come up from the larger wetland complex.
So if I understand this plan correctly, the prime wetland is on the left-hand side of the page in the dotted area?
Yes, that is correct.
And I don't see anything encroaching on that. Closest disturbance you have is that wetland buffer impact at the top of the cul-de-sac?
Yes, there is no proposed prime wetland buffer impacts for this project.
Okay. I'm sure there's going to be some questions from the commissioners. Most likely, we're probably going to want to walk this property. But before we do, I did want to let you know that we did receive a notice from DES just today that the subject property, 57.5 Frost Road, Derry, tax map number 2, lot number 149, that's you guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a letter of compliance. There were some compliance issues on this property over the years, and the petitioner has met the burden of DES, and the property is now in compliance, just as a heads up. Go ahead, Eileen.
Who delineated the wetlands on this property? I don't see any kind of wetland stamp on this plan or set of plans.
Luke Hurley from Hurley Environmental.
What is it?
Luke Hurley from Hurley Environmental.
Okay, how come his stamp is not on the plan?
So we haven't finalized the plans yet, as in terms of going through the TRC process. So we've been to one TRC. Another understanding, we'd come to Conservation Commission and do a site walk, and then we'd go back to TRC and take in all the comments from both the TRC committee, the Conservation Committee, Highway Safety Committee, implement them into the plans, and then when going forward with the final submittal to Planning Board, then have all the plans stamped accordingly.
Okay,
With the application for DES.
right, okay.
So just to follow up on that, so with this being a 2,500 square foot impact, proposed impact, we will be requesting a minimum expedited, which would be coming in front of the Planning Board, Conservation Commission for review and then signature if you so desire. We can get that off to the state. So these are preliminary plans at present. Getting your feedback, going for a site walk, and as Joyce just mentioned, updating those, and then when we get to the application, everything would be stamped at that point.
Okay, so I would like to make a suggestion. Can some consideration be given at the top of the plan where you have the, what'd you call it, an infiltration basin at the top there that has the wetland buffer impacts to it? Has any consideration been given or could be given to moving that to another location so that we can avoid some wetland buffer impacts?
We had looked at that actually up on that area. There is a kind of a swale area that comes down the backside of the property we're trying to capture as well. So we had pushed that pond as far, in this case, northerly away from the wetland buffer as we could. We can definitely take a look at it again, see if we can change the slopes a little bit as well.
Okay. And then another question I had, I remember I was one of the people that went out on that site visit. I don't forget now how long ago it was, but I remember we had a pretty hefty rainstorm that day, thunder and lightning, but we were out there. And I recall there being a bit of a pond to the left where you have the circle at the entrance that says wetlands impact, wetland buffer impact.
Yep.
That there was a pond there? Is that still there?
Yes, that's an existing pond, and it'll be maintained as an existing pond as part of this project.
Right, we had discussed that, I believe, during, that's my recollection at that site visit, that we wanted to maintain that pond.
Yep.
And leave it as is and not
Yes.
impact it, so.
So we have also talked with that abutter as well, and working his driveway and also the impacts on his property altogether. Easements are in place.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, easements are drafted for that. They will be in place.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see another site visit be done, current site visit, so that we can see what's going on right now.
Any other commissioners have questions for the applicant? Gentlemen, I'm guessing that the home locations on lots 6, 5, 4, and 3, I don't see, I'm sure they'll probably be put on the plan at some point, the location of the proposed structure. I don't,
Yeah, on that plan, you do see, we have a representative box for a house, a driveway, also the 4K area as well on each of that.
but are those cast, like, is that where they're going? Or is that just a placeholder?
That's a placeholder for right now, yep.
But I believe the driveways, per the town ordinance, city ordinance, requires that what's shown on the plans where the drive curb cut is going to be placed
Yep.
or installed.
No, I'm thinking more like the actual improvements themselves. So you're showing these boxes, right? Those are not scale boxes of what the homes are going to be. You're just reserving that area as the potential building site?
Yeah, based on our conversation with TRC, they'd asked us to show how these lots could potentially be laid out, and that works with the grading associated with the roads themselves, the driveways, and in this case, the drainage that we're proposing as well. So yeah, the house may be a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, and generally in the same location.
So the one that you have shown on Lot 5, do you know what the setback is from that prime?
The house,
Yeah.
what's this distance? So it's roughly 50 feet from the prime wetland buffer line.
Oh, so that dotted line is not the prime, it's the buffer line?
Yeah,
Yes,
so on the
correct.
plan that's on the screen right now, it's in front of you, see the hatch with the, heavy dark dashed line?
Yeah, I see it.
That's your 100-foot setback from the prime wetland.
And what is the setback for a building for a prime wetland?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, let's go back. It's a 150-foot prime wetland setback that's what's shown on that drawing, so the house has to be outside the 150.
And so then I'm going to go back to the first question. So how far from the setback line is the house?
Roughly 50 feet.
And is that the closest encroachment, do you think, in where you have the houses
yeah.
located right now?
Yeah, that's
For
the
the
only.
prime, yes.
On
Yep.
prime, yes.
Those are drainage easements.
So I think as we move this along, there's going to be some, we're going to want some language or there's going to be some concern on how close that house gets to that buffer. Because you got to be able to build the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want heavy equipment in the buffer. We don't want things to enter into the buffer that maybe shouldn't be into the buffer. So we would definitely need some guaranteed kind of What have we done in the past, Eileen?
Silt fence on that.
No, more than silt fence.
We'd need more, you were talking about silt socks, we'd need more than silt socks, we'd need some real, especially for
Realize that conservation
for the
exists because of
slopes that are
prime
going
wetlands,
down
right? So that's
here.
kind of our purview.
You know, you've got
Yeah.
some steep slopes, we'd like to see some jute matting
Yeah.
for sure to make sure there isn't going to be erosion down into the prime wetland.
It's a 20
That would,
slope.
you know, with heavy storms, it'll eventually
Yes.
reach there. You know, we'd want to see some jute matting.
Yeah, so just so you guys are aware that when we get that close to a prime, you know, sometimes we want a little bit extra measures in place just to prevent any contamination to that prime.
Yeah.
Just so you know, too, this will be a private drive, so there's a homeowners association that's associated with this as well. And what you're asking for, we typically do, I think you guys do as well, is we have to post the placards on the prime wetland buffer. So in this case, we would put additional verbiage on that lot and say you're no closer than, say, let's say 200 feet from the buffer.
Yeah, good.
So typically on the plan sets as well, we do show the erosion control measures. We usually use North American green as the erosion control matting that goes on any slope 2% or less, or greater, I should say. And that's also implemented as part of the erosion control plan.
So this road is not being, it's not going to be a town road, it's going to be a private
It's going
drive?
to be a private road, that is correct.
Okay, and is there going to be measures on that private road? Or actually, I shouldn't say is there going to be measures. I want the commissioners to start thinking about measures on what best practices are when dealing with snow storage and the winter on a private road that's this close to a prime, with discharge kind of being very close to a prime.
All over the place.
So have everybody keep that on their radar screen, and we're going to probably present some thoughts on that once this thing goes to signature. Okay, anything else from the commissioners before we schedule a site walk? Nice thing is that all the snow is going to melt this week. It's going to be like 50 on Wednesday and Thursday,
Is
so,
it supposed to warm up?
yeah, a lot, quite a bit.
That would be nice.
It'll be cold quick.
Yeah, but at least maybe we'll get the snow out of there, you know what I mean? Yeah, if you get, yeah, you'd have to come up and just state your name for the record, please.
I'm Josh Lanzetta. I'm the attorney for the applicant. Just while you were talking, I just wanted to confirm, the lot looks like it was created in 1977. The first deed of record is 1978, so I have a feeling that driveway's been there since at least then.
You mean the driveway?
At 59 Frost, so the driveway that the current road.
What was the year?
Serviced all years.
77.
Yeah, I was thinking 70s, so we pretty much stopped using metal pipes shortly thereafter, right?
So first deed is 1978.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so we need to look at this. This isn't going to be a short one. This is a pretty big piece, so we're going to have to spend some time there. It's Christmas and New Year's, but these guys want to move the ball, so we have to make some time for it.
And just to help you guys along too, we have TRC on Friday.
This
as well,
Friday?
this Friday. So we'll be in front of the TRC again this Friday, having the same conversation again. So not that should rush what you guys are doing, but just giving that update.
So if anybody has any extra comments, please get them to me because I'll attend that and speak for the Conservation Commission, okay?
8 a.m. Friday.
Yeah.
Yep. 8 a.m., yep.
Yeah, I hate that, but that's okay.
What happened at 9
first thing
o'clock
in the morning.
TRC?
Nah, 8 o'clock.
No more 9 o'clock TRC?
No, because
meetings?
they stack them up.
Bob, do you have something? Do you have something? No. No?
No,
All right, get your calendars out, commissioners. Let's get this thing
all the different.
on our calendar. And it's gonna, maybe a bit tricky this time of the year, but we gotta get it done, so.
Chair, are you trying to do this like next week or so?
Where are you guys? Like, where are you guys on your timeline?
Our timeline is once we go to TRC.
You're gonna have a lag on that. Like, once you go to TRC, you're gonna.
Yeah, so we usually a couple of weeks to try to address some of the comments. We usually want to get those back to us.
So we're going to go to the highway committee as well. Yeah.
Highway safety.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the, when do you start needing signatures? When do you think you start needing signatures?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, if we can do the site walk before the end of December, like the 29th or so, 30th, one of those days, that would be very helpful. But that's up to the board.
So let's just play it out. So we're gonna do a site walk. Eileen, I'm guessing that this is gonna be before us after that site walk 2 more times, right? You think that's about
Well,
accurate?
when are you planning to do your application for DES?
Well, they have 2,
What's the
right?
timing for that?
You have 2 DES applications on this project, I think, right?
We have a alteration terrain,
Right?
and we have a wetlands permit, yes.
Yeah, so there's 2.
There's 2. The alteration terrain is not,
But the AOT is a PBN, right? Is that going to be?
no, this is a full-blown, because we had already, so as you just read, the information you got from DES was that there had been a, after-the-fact alteration terrain for the site, which we have,
Yeah.
which means that anything we do on this site, we would have to update that AOT permit anyways.
Okay.
So there's a full AOT permit that goes along with this, as well as the wetlands application.
But the AOT, from our perspective, is we're just going to get notified on that one. We're not going to, I don't
Yeah.
think we chime in on that one unless we see something we don't like, right?
Yeah, but that's why we're here, because anything you guys are suggesting, we're going to try to add to these plans, the same plans that go to AOT, TRC, and the planning board are the same ones that you guys have seen.
No, but different than the crossing. The crossing is something that we're going to,
Yes.
we'll be
Yes.
involved in.
Yes.
I think it would be appropriate for us to, even though we don't normally look at the AOT in this particular case, because we're dealing with a prime wetland, we'd want to, be able to see the AOT if possible.
The town gets a copy. You will have a copy. When we submit to AOT,
Yeah,
the clerk has a copy here.
Right, I get it. And I think if I'm hearing the applicant, the way that I think I'm hearing the applicant, is he wants us to chime in our recommendations prior to him filing his AOT.
Yeah.
So let's try to get that to him, so he's incorporating any concerns we may have in that AOT application. And then we look at the prime separately. That's it's almost like a separate part of it.
Yeah,
So that being that, so with knowing that you guys, I think it's going to take 2 more trips, right? Do you guys believe that this is going to be 2 more trips or 1 more trip? What do the commissioners think? Because we're gonna walk it. They're going to present.
it would be good for us to walk it if, as you say, the weather's going to get warmer. I'd prefer to walk it after the snow is gone.
Yeah, of course.
So that we can
Yeah,
really see what's
absolutely.
going on out there.
So let's. How's this look? How's this sound? So we're going to walk it, right? You guys are going to present. We're going to have comments during that presentation. Now, sometimes we can any concerns we may have can just be presented, and then we can have a signing process without you coming back for a second meeting. As long as it's not I can meet you somewhere and sign the plan. If we satisfy the commission's, any concerns the commissions may have.
So, Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
With the expedited application process, you would be signing that application. So my expectation is we're going to have a site walk. We'll come back to you guys, talk through what that does,
Right.
incorporate that information, prepare the wetlands application to the state, the minimum expedited, and either if you want us to come back to a meeting and go through it again, or we can give that to you, and you can sign it, and then we'll get that off to the state. So that would be done concurrently with our process with
That's signature
TRC.
number 1 now. Now there's signature number 2 that has
Yes.
to go on the actual Mylars.
Yep.
Mr.
But
Chair,
I guess that's down the
wouldn't-
road a bit, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be, that's
Yes.
6 months from now, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I wouldn't recommend that you sign any plans unless there's a wetlands stamp on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
The
Yes.
Curly stamp
Yeah,
needs
of
to be
course.
on that plan
Oh,
before we
absolutely.
sign it.
Yeah, I see the wetland scientist right there. He's very familiar to me. He's been
Yep.
here a lot of times. And he knows that nothing's going to get
We
signed
need
unless
your
the stamp's on
stamp,
it.
sir.
Yeah.
No, so just to be very, very clear.
All right, so then I got a little bit ahead of myself. So the subdivision plan, the Mylars, that it's going to require the signatures from all the chairs. We're going to put that on the back burner, and we're going to deal with the DES component of this right now. Does that sound good? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes? Yes, okay.
Yeah, that was our intent.
Okay.
That's exactly what we were
All
hoping
right,
to
good.
get
So
across.
that being the case, because we're only going to be dealing with the DES component. Let's schedule this site walk and get them back before us. And what we did on the last one is we just have an agreement that any concerns that we kind of hash out at that meeting are going to get incorporated in that application.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, all right, good.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, so let's get this scheduled. What are we looking at?
Mr. Chair, just one more time. I just
Go
want to
ahead,
make sure that Mr. Chabot is, yes, every plan set that we submit that is going for application will be stamped, PE, licensed land surveyor, and the wetland scientist. So what you're looking at right now is a preliminary set of plans. We don't put any stamps on this because we don't know what the end result is going to look like until after we've had both conversations with you guys and TRC.
It's just, I guess my reservation is that the chair not sign
Oh,
a
absolutely. Yes.
plan without that stamp, because that's going to be the plan of record that's going to be at our town
Yeah,
hall
it-
here, and
Yeah, he can't, he will not get a plan to stamp, or the application that we submit will not, you will not get a plan that does not have stamps on it.
because
Absolutely.
that'll be the plan of record here, and we want to
Absolutely.
make sure that that's,
Unavailable either way.
got the wetlands
Absolutely.
stamp
Sorry
on
about
it.
Chair. You're all set.
Time's the sun go down? 4:30?
Friday at 9?
Friday at 9 after the TRC?
29th's good for me. 29th?
How are people for the 29th, Monday, the 29th? The time's kind of, I'm flexible on the time. How are people on that day, Monday, the 29th?
I'm flexible unless I get
Yeah,
told I'm not.
I get you. You're flexible until you're not. Monday, the 29th, how about you guys down here?
I'm about the
Jay,
same.
Christopher?
I'm open.
Yeah, you're good on the 29th, Jay?
I know I have something going on with the family on one of those 2 days, 29th or 30th, and I don't
Okay.
know for sure.
And I know it's a stretch because it's it's Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff. Can we schedule it for the 29th? Are we going to get enough commissioners to the 29th that it's going to make it worthwhile? Mr. Metz is a yes, Christopher's a yes, I'm a yes. Eileen, are you a yes for the 29th?
I think I'm a yes.
Because
I
remember,
don't have
Bob's
a
a half a
calendar in
yes.
front of me,
Because remember, it now has to be a posted meeting with minutes.
Yeah. Cheryl, how are you for the 29th?
I'm a little precarious on
You're
the
a little
29th.
okay.
A little later is better for me, or earlier, but I will try.
Later in the day, you mean?
Later in the date.
Oh, later in the date, okay.
Or earlier.
So the next Monday would be the 5th. We get deep into January, though, we're going to have snow cover.
No, then
and
we're going to
cold-
have
and
snow
cold
Yeah,
weather.
don't
Yeah,
worry.
we're gonna have snow
I'll
cover.
do my
It's
best.
supposed to be in the 40s for the next week, for that week.
For which week?
I'm gonna say we call it for the 29th.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
try the 20th.
Yeah, I'm going to try. I'll try.
And Eileen, we've both been on this property before.
Yep.
Give me an idea of what you think it's going to take. How much time is it going to take to give this a good shake?
Well, last time we went, God, I think we spent less than an hour. Of course, it was a thunder and lightning storm, so we're all looking to get out of there pretty quick. But I can't see it being more than an hour.
An hour?
I don't-
Gets dark at like 4:15, 4:30, so
Yeah,
you want to
so-
say 2:30?
2:30 sounds good.
Bob, is 2:30 doable for you?
Yep.
Yes? How about you guys?
We're,
2:30?
Yeah, pleasure of the board.
29th?
Yes.
That I
Yeah, we'll
can
make
do.
it.
Yeah?
I'll make a
Okay.
point of it.
Awesome. All right, so Tammy, you notify Sheila that we're going to have a site walk on the 29th? Yep. At 2:30? She's going to have to post it as a meeting. Okay, anything else from us before we let these guys go?
Just, can we just talk a little bit more? Just
Sure,
for a
go,
couple minutes?
yeah,
All
go.
right, so in terms of the wetland impact, as what Jace was just talking about, that's the existing, essentially right off, we're widening out the existing gravel drive to get the road in here.
Right.
So that impact area, the ones up top, we're going to take a look at the pond, see if we can move that pond and get some of that proposed wetland impact area off that pond. The temporary impacts for the for the culvert and so forth, I call them temporary because you're still going to be there once it's done, and those wetland impacts. That's where we can't really move that. We've looked at where that structure has to go, that pipe. So that one's, I can tell you right now, it's going to be a little difficult to make that. But we are also asking the TRC and the planning board for 2-to-1 side slopes as opposed to 3-to-1 to try to minimize some of those
That's going to be like Mark LaRue's call on that, on the side slopes. We would defer to him on that.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know, so these impacts are what we see the minimum with what the current rules are. They're working with that.
I can tell you that I don't like 18-inch pipes 52 feet long. I can tell you that up front. I'm just one commissioner, but I think that's an awful long 18-inch pipe.
So one of the things we have to do is maintain the side slopes, and we do have head walls on either end of that. So the 52, right in this point, gets us to a detention pond that we're showing on the uphill side of the pond. Would minimize that as much as possible, and I think we did, just to be able to get the side slopes on the road in there.
It's just that an 18-inch pipe that long,
Issues.
it can create a lot of issues for people and wildlife and everything else under the sun. There's no room for a second anything else on an 18-inch pipe that long. So we're that's just me.
Yeah,
How I feel about small, long pipes.
Yeah, we're trying to maintain the same hydrology that's there now, past the same water's coming down that ditch.
So like a 24-inch pipe wouldn't work in that?
Oh, you're suggesting go larger
Of course.
than the 18?
Yeah.
That's what you're suggesting?
That's what I'm suggesting.
Can we get the cover?
We could probably get the cover, but the drainage calcs with the 24 would show more water passing over or into that existing
pond area.
pond, and you have to match that pre to post condition. Even though we're not impacting really anything or adding any impervious area to that side, it would actually show an increase in water going there.
Right.
So for purposes of being compliant with wetlands, you're not supposed to use, existing wetlands for detention or increased flow to the wetlands. So that would be a hurdle to look at.
Unless you expanded the size of that pond, right?
Yeah.
I just, in my experience, when pipes are that long and that small, if something gets stuck in them, it's very difficult to get them out. When it's, yeah.
Now, what is the pipe going to be made out of?
Right now, it's proposed as HDPE dual walled.
Okay.
Which would be smooth bore inside, so.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's set at a 9% slope right now to kind of match the existing slope through there. So it does have somewhat, as you know, it's not set at a minimum slope of 2 zeros forward, it's flat. It does have some pitch to.
Like I said, I'm one
And it won't be-
commissioner, but I would like to see the pipe be bigger if it could be, just
Yep,
if.
we'll take a look at that.
In case of, no, I know how small it is,
Yeah, 18 is pretty big, 24, that's 6 inches wide. so-
24, if a dog goes in there, we'll be able to get the dog out. And 18, it's gonna be tough to get the dog out. All right, anything else from the commissioners?
Yeah. Any feedback whatsoever, this is the perfect time. Thank you.
No, I think we're good. I think we'll have some feedback after the site walk.
Yep,
Yeah.
awesome.
Thanks, guys. I
All
appreciate
right,
it.
thank you, appreciate it.
If the commissioners want to keep the plans, keep them. If not, you can return them to the applicant. I'm going to keep mine.
We end up with a set out there in the field.
Actually, yes.
Good.
No, I know.
I think 24 should be the minimum across the board.
These are all 15s.
No, I know. No, but those are trim. Right at the road. Literally at the road. How close to the road is that?
Or are you talking more?
Proposed.
They do, yes. Okay. I'm gonna pull that up now so that I can confirm with you before we leave that it's what you.
Different.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right, nice work, commissioners. We are going to move right along with our reports, committee reports, and we'll start off with Jay with Community Gardens.
Yes, I just sent out the 2 soil samples today to the University of New Hampshire Soil Testing Service. I learned that the actual testing site is the University of Pennsylvania, so I'll plans of me going in there and touring like I had was quelled. Now I'm interested in knowing what goes on down in the University of Pennsylvania, and I'm also interested in, since I'd worked there in my early career, the University of Massachusetts used to have an extension service soil testing lab at, when I was there, Waltham Field Station, but also at Amherst campus. So I'm curious to know the quality and compare the two services. We'll probably be using them over the next years. It takes 3 weeks before I'll see any results, which I'll share. We also have a new member of our subcommittee, an alternate, and trying to get them on board. And I will get a little more updated information to you.
That's Ms. Pirro.
Yeah. And welcome. I appreciate your help. We'll have plenty to do.
Thank you, Jay. Mr. Metz, anything on personnel?
Status quo as far as I know. Beth, you're okay? Tammy, you're good? Yeah? Okay. Good.
On personnel, while we're on personnel, might as well use it here. Beth, we have a contract with Beth that she works up to 40 hours per month. When Mr. Metz and I put together the job description for the land manager, it wasn't quite as broad as it has become. And we're not exceeding the 40 hours per month, but I think there's a potential that we may. So I would like to hear a motion to raise that up to 40 hours per month to up to 50 hours per month. If someone would like to make that motion.
Move to approve the use of the land manager from 40 hours a month to 50 hours a month.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so we have a first and a second on the floor to increase the allocated amount of time for our land manager to 50 hours per month. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. Cheryl, do you have anything on public outreach?
Yes. So we had a little while ago a lovely meeting over coffee, Rick and Eileen and myself, and it was really just kind of getting to know each other and talking about living in Derry. We've all lived in Derry for a really long time, and that is a great inspiration and foundation for good social media content, even though we were just really enjoying the meeting. And a few gems came out of that. One, Eileen was suggesting that we maybe start posting about the history in the town. So generally, I think these are the really early stages of what will eventually be a regular schedule of posting content, things like that. So that's where you really kind of churn up the soil of what you're going to be doing. We will meet after the holidays again with Beth. And Beth is bringing some calendars, and we are going to create a social media posting when we are posting calendar, because that really tends to bring about the most interaction and success is when you're posting regularly and you have sort of a format for what you're doing. So we can come up with that, establish it. Our idea is to post to be a reminder of maybe taking a little photo at meetings. And Beth is going to link our meetings so that people can link and access and watch them. That would be something that'd be a good regular thing to do, just to connect the community with the meetings. And then we would do seasonal postings, for example, with weather changes. And Beth has done some very engaging posts of like walking along and on paths and things like that. So there'll be a regular schedule that we know that this is changing, but yet has a consistency to it. In the meantime, Beth was suggesting I can do it as well. I'm going to be added as an admin, that there'll be like organic times of posting. Like you happen to walk around and it's an organic thing. Those are fun to do and wonderful. They keep it fresh, but we really do need to get on a schedule where it's consistent, and I think that will make a difference. And I don't think there was anything else I think that was pretty much it. After the holidays, we're going to meet, though, and then we'll get our schedule. And once we get our schedule, we'll start to, post regularly, see what that is, and we can assess from that what's happening with it.
We have to remember to get a photo
Yes.
before we leave this evening.
Yes.
And a photo at that site walk would be great, too.
Yes.
Val's not here, though. You want to do it when Val's here?
Well,
Oh, you want
this isn't going to be the forever photo. This
Okay.
is just the tonight photo.
I didn't do my hair.
Really? None of us do
Thank you,
that here.
Cheryl. Thank you. I like your enthusiasm. Mr. Metz, anything on TRC?
Nothing to report except I'll be at the TRC Friday for the Frost Road project. And again, if anybody has any things you want me to bring up after you've got a few days to look at the plans, let me know.
I really like that they satisfied this, the DES stuff, because there was quite a bit of it. There was a lot of that, so they had to do some stuff to get that done. State compliance. Eileen? Anything?
I don't have anything new to report tonight.
Property maintenance, Bob?
Nothing really to add. They did finish over the Corneliuson farm. The town crew did a really beautiful job on it.
Yeah.
All nice and level. There's a big culvert in, at the, one of the crossings that was perpetually wet. It now have dry boots.
Nice.
Up to the intersection, and I didn't go over and check to see if they took the trees out, but
They did.
they did. So
Well, they dropped them. I don't think
really
they took 'em.
appreciate the really nice effort that they did on it.
Yeah, I actually sent a communication to Mike Fowler and Clint Havens, thanking them for what they've been doing for us and thanking them for their renewed kind of commitment to conservation. They get it. They get that, this voluntary group with a couple of employees is responsible for one of the most important assets the town has, which is its property. I've always said that the most important thing in town is the people, but the second most important thing is the water and the land, and we're in charge of those other two. So we're the kind of guardians of that. So I sent that communication to them, and it was well received. Land acquisition, we are going to have a non-public. We have two land acquisition projects that we're working on, and we'll talk about those in a non-public setting. For reporting compliance, Val did send me a report. She couldn't be here tonight, and a couple of the highlights are that she submitted the Corneliuson report to L-Chip, and she is working with the finance department to pick up documents of deeds and stuff on our property. The Net Zero Task Force is moving along, and some of the stuff they're working on is incorporating hybrid and EVs in the towns are working on getting those in their police fleet. And they're also keeping an eye on the building codes as it relates to the Net Zero Task Force kind of charge. But she'll be at our next meeting, she said. And that covers both of those next two sections. While we're on committees, this might be a good time to talk about as we grow, our commission's growing, right? We now have 10 commissioners, and we want to get everybody involved in committees. So Beth had made a suggestion that her and I have been working on for a while, that the committee that we had for land maintenance was a bit too broad and had too many requirements. That was one kind of problem that we had. The other problem that we have is we can't have more than 3 people on a committee without having it become a posted meeting that requires minutes and things like that. So we want to kind of try to limit committees to 3 people. So we've decided to take the land maintenance subcommittee and break it into 2 new committees. One is going to remain land maintenance, but we're going to break out property management. And Christopher has agreed to join me as a member on that committee. So I'm going to chair that committee for the time being. Hopefully be able to mentor Chris to take over as chair once we're comfortable with that. And the property maintenance, the management side is going to be addressing more constituent inquiries and concerns. Take that away from Bob so Bob can concentrate his efforts on the maintenance of the properties. It probably wouldn't hurt to have a motion to that effect, Mr. Metz. So,
Okay,
here we go.
I got it.
Okay, yeah.
So I move that we take the land maintenance subcommittee, split it into two separate, one being property management, dealing with legal issues, abutter inquiries, rental agreements, and such. And the second committee would be land maintenance, dealing with trail and public recreation upkeep.
And is there a second?
Second.
So we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposition? Abstentions? Motion carries. So we've added a committee to our subcommittees. With that, we'll go to the land manager report. Beth?
Okay, so the Fire Safety Committee is plugging away on the Community Wildfire Protection Plan. We have now a Microsoft Teams space for file sharing. So that is just a shared space where everybody can get to the files, they can edit the files, it updates, so you don't have to like download anything, and we're all working on the same, with the same most updated like information and version. And that is something that we can set up for other subcommittees. So if the chairs of any other subcommittees would like a space like that set up for them, just reach out and we can get that set up. And then we have a project outline that'll kind of walk us through the entire process to create this CWPP. And we've had that reviewed by John Neely, and he has kind of signed off on it. And then we have another upcoming meeting that will be an in-person meeting. We've been having virtual meetings thus far, but we'll have an in-person meeting on January 7th to look at some maps and decide where our priority areas are to focus on. And so that will be very good. So with property maintenance and monitoring, we are going to be reaching out to a Boy Scout troop to replace some of the wooden boards at the bridge at Coalmarsh, and we discussed potentially having another like trail maintenance event at Coalmarsh, kind of in conjunction with that. So doing some work on Coalmarsh this winter in January or February. And then to add to Val's report on reporting compliance, she asked that I just update on the last meeting that we had. So Val and I took a trip to see Bob at the State Parks Department, and we saw how they manage their files and like their deeds and all the things that they need to keep track of there. So that was very helpful. And if anybody's been on the second floor file cabinet room, I did some organizing work in there, and Val and I are going to divide and conquer the file cabinets to just organize them so that we can find what we need when we need to find it. And then lastly, so I have some learning resources, especially because we have some new members, right? So does everybody have a copy of this? Okay, so if you would like one, here it is. Does anybody else need a copy of this? Is the NHACC handbook, the Conservation Commission handbook? Anybody else? No?
Was that updated since last year significantly?
Yeah, that's the new handbook.
Yeah, Beth, I gave mine to somebody, so.
This is 2021.
Okay.
You need one?
It's the newest handbook.
I think you might have given it to me.
Yeah, I gave it, yeah, I'll take one.
Okay, I will give you one.
Yeah.
And then we also have this wetlands best management practices for avoidance best management practice techniques for avoidance and minimization, which Eileen had shared with me and asked that we have some copies available for commissioners. So I have some copies there. There is also a digital copy. So if you prefer to just have a digital copy, you can have that. We also have printed ones. And if I do run out of printed ones, then I can just make more. So we have those. Yeah,
It's an excellent resource when you're looking at plans like we looked at tonight, for how best to talk with the applicant to avoid impacts to wetlands. It gives you a lot of different scenarios. It gives you also, like Rick was pointing out, we need certain erosion control measures and other measures to avoid impacts. There's a lot of resources in that book to help you.
Beth, how do we get the digital version?
Just email me that you would like it, or let me know, and I can just make a list of who would like the digital version. I can send it to you tomorrow. You would
Thanks.
like one? Yeah.
Please, yep.
Anything else, Beth? You're good.
That is it.
Thank you. Council liaison report, we're not going to have. Mr. Foote couldn't make the meeting tonight. Update on conservation activities. I think we've covered that. I do have some other business correspondence. In other business is we got a postcard from SELT, Managing Soil Health for Working Lands. I'll pass it to my left. We got the DES letter of compliance for the property that we saw tonight, 57.5 Frost Road. I'll pass that to my left. We also have the natural resources assessment for 10 Young Road.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Jay to dig. Jay, do you have a copy of that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Jay to dig into that,
Exactly.
apply his new wetlands management book, because it's a lot of that property is wet, so we're going to have to be creative on what we can do there. But Jay, I do want you to just make note on page 3, the last sentence, the engineer found that there's a pipe was identified near PVP3 that could be a well overflow from an adjacent property. It could be from the fire department, but I don't think it is. I think it's a private property, and if it is, it would be something that you'd have to bring to the code enforcement officer.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that sticks out to me is on page 5, there's a reference in the first paragraph about the 4th line down that says, in addition to the educational opportunity, restoration of the wetland to an eventually forested site may provide credit under the town's MS4 plan. So if you could find out what exactly they're talking about in that.
Okay.
And then once you feel like you got like an initial assessment on what this is, we'll probably have to have a workshop on this one and figure out what next steps are going to be.
Sure. Thank you.
Tammy, could we get a communication to Sheila and Catherine that we've increased Beth's hours, her upper limit to 50 in a vote tonight? She may want to see the minutes. Could we also get a communication to Sheila that our only meeting in January is going to be on January 12th?
That's already done.
And lastly, a communication to Sheila that we're going to have a site walk, as we discussed earlier.
Already done.
Yeah, so I did, is that what you're saying? Yeah, I did notify Sheila that our only meeting will be January 12th.
Yeah. Tammy did too.
After our last meeting.
Tammy did too.
Tammy did too.
All right, so site walk was the 29th.
It's January 12th, not January 19th? That's what I
sidewalk?
got, it's January 19th.
Site walk?
No.
No, the
The
meeting.
meeting's the 12th, the site walk's the
Yeah.
29th.
The 12th, because you said the 19th earlier.
Yeah, we screwed up, yeah. But
Screwed
the,
up 3
Sidewalk's the
times.
29th.
the site walk is December
29th.
29th. December
What's the
29th. At 2 o'clock, right? Is that what we said?
30.
2:30?
30.
All right,
Oh,
2:30.
2:30?
29th at 2:30.
Okay,
Got it.
I'll work that out.
Does anyone have, before we go into non-public, does anyone have any other business they need to bring before the commission? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion going to non-public.
Move to go into non-public per RSA 91A3, Section 2, for the purpose of land acquisition.
Before we get a second on that, Beth, do you want to join us in the non-public?
I would love to.
Okay, all right, so there's a motion on the floor to go into non-public. Can you amend your motion, Mr. Metz, to, well, actually, no, why don't we do that as a separate motion? All right, so there's a motion to go into non-public. Is there a second?
Second. Yep.
Second by Eileen and Cheryl. This requires a roll call vote. We'll start to my right with Christopher.
Aye.
Jay.
Present, yes.
Yes.
Bob.
Yes.
Eileen.
Yes.
Cheryl.
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
Move
We
to invite Beth Carver into the non-public session.
And Ms. Pero.
Oh, Ms. Perro, I'm sorry.
I'll second that.
So there's a first on the floor to invite Ms. Carver and Ms. Pero. There's a second by Mr. Spoerl. We also need a roll call on this, starting to my right.
Yes.
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 Chair votes yes. All right, so we are in non-public. As soon as we get the go-ahead from DTV, we can start discussion.